Hey everyone, it is Tuesday, January 9th, 2018, and it's time to go to work on music. It's been a good day, I'm in a really good place, and excited for a productive session. Somewhat strangely, I was dealing with some logistical stuff around the house earlier today, so I'm getting sort of a later start on the session. I'm not super happy about that, but at the same time, like, that was gonna happen at some point, and I probably should have just scheduled it for the future instead of allowing it to sort of interrupt my day today. So that's a good takeaway. Gonna hit the online class front here momentarily, share my progress there. Gonna hit a quick guitar practice and update you guys with what I'm doing on that front. And then I'm gonna dive into the production front and start first listen back to some of the takes I did yesterday on the drumming front, and then finish the drums hopefully by doing a little bit of part writing for this last fill of this tune that's going from the first chorus to the second verse. And then I'm going to dive deep, save plenty of time to jump into the new tune today and map that arrangement out pretty much start to finish, get the bridge section knocked out, third chorus stuff knocked out, and just really try to make some serious headway on that new tune and get it knocked out and done reasonably soon and start working on the third one. So appreciate you guys for tuning in. Let me know if you have any thoughts as we go. Let's do it. All right. Not the greatest first half of the day. It definitely wasn't terrible, but it wasn't great, and I'm going to just learn from that and make sure that I prevent that from happening in the future as much as possible. So, partly it was just because I got a late start on the session, which usually is just a recipe for kind of a rough day, and then I sort of interleaved some things that I wouldn't normally have done during the session, like sending some fellow campers a couple recordings of some stuff from Vi Academy that we had agreed to trade in advance. And normally I would just do that during my email time, which I usually do at the very end of the day, but I decided to put it in there because I was like, just, I don't know, it was a poor decision, but you live and you learn, and I'm happy I got that done. But yeah, I just will make sure that the music time remains sacred in the future, and that's a really good takeaway. Got on the online class front, just did more review, more about brand and image, and it's good to remember that your image is important in the sense that it probably ought to line up with the vibe that your music creates. Like, what type of imagery do people associate with your music? What type of culture and community is your music a part of? And it's also worth mentioning that you should probably spend at least 10 times as much time on your actual music than you do on anything relating to your image. But that might vary from artist to artist. Some artists are all about the image, some artists are all about the music, and maybe there's a middle ground that we can strive for. But it's always good to be reminded of that, even though I think it kind of goes without saying. And then I got into good guitar practice. It had been a long time since I had really done that, so I was a little out of the groove. So I feel like I'm still kind of getting back in the zone from the last few days. It's taken a little longer than I thought it would, but I'm hanging in there. And I then got into the production front, listened back to some of the drum takes from yesterday. It was interesting. The biggest difference that I noticed is recording without the click track really helped the pocket, which is interesting. And I think that's just because the click isn't going to be in there. At the end of the song, it's a great guide for when I'm laying down guitar parts and bass parts and vocals and stuff. But once it's time to put the drums on there, like, that's what the listener's going to hear, and that's what's going to comprise the groove. So that was a really, really valuable takeaway right there, actually. So I'll probably start recording drums without clicks in the future because all the other stuff is done to a click anyway. So it's like, let's just get that out of there. And let's just have the parts that are going to be in the final song, and let me play those. So that was good, definitely valuable. And then I sketched out the fill from the first chorus going into the second verse. And I thought that was going to be kind of long and complicated. I was a little worried about that, but actually it's probably going to be relatively simple and shouldn't take too long to hit. So that's great. I'm almost done with this tune. I've got a take for the third chorus that's probably usable now, which is really nice. And I may come back tomorrow or at some point this week or next week and do some more takes of that section just to see if I can get something super, super crazy, which would be really great because it's the last section of the song. And then just track that fill, which hopefully won't take too much time, maybe an hour or two. So I'm almost done with that tune. I'm really excited to be done. I'm gonna come back and do like the mixing and edits and like kind of effects and things like that and sort of round that out. But I kind of want to give myself a little critical distance from the song for a while, and I would love to knock out the other three tunes that are going to be sort of the meat of this record, and then come back with a fresh perspective and do all the edits in kind of one different type of section. So yeah, I'm going to take a little break and dive back in a few. Okay, good second half of the day, but similar theme to the first half of the day was just too short. I've really been compromising myself with my outside of the music time commitments. I'm just not sticking to those well enough to protect the music time, and so I'm getting those results, and that's just how that goes. So I'll make some changes starting tonight, and we'll make it happen. But I did good things with the time I had. I uploaded yesterday's video 2 days ago, actually. Still catching up on those. And then jumped into the new tune and started fleshing out this bridge part that I had the idea for a couple nights ago. I had a bridge idea, but then I was kind of not feeling it. And I'm going to see if I can get both in there and see if that's cool. And if not, I'll just let it go. But I think what I'm going to do is transition to this new part that I just laid down. It's going to require a little bit of editing to get it to sound the way I want it to. But it's going to be really a cool transition between the first part of the bridge, the second part of the bridge, and then what I hope will be a really great final chorus, or maybe I'll just take it into something else. I haven't quite decided yet, but I'm making good progress. It's just if I don't have a couple more hours, I can't knock it out. So, yeah, it's a good lesson. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Hope you guys are out there grinding towards your goals, enjoying the process. That's what I'm out here doing. I'll see you guys tomorrow for more. Until then.